This is News 3 Now at 5.
And thanks for staying with us. Again, we have breaking news. Multiple people are in the hospital tonight after a carbon monoxide leak at a daycare center outside Mount Horry.
Crews were called to the 8900 block of Ridgeview Road about 2 hours ago. Our Adam Duxter is live at the scene and joins us now with the latest. Adam.
Hey, Eric and Susan, still pretty active scene here at the Heart and Hands Child Care Center here in Mount Horeb, and we'll give you a look right now as the biggest thing that's happening is students being held in an air-conditioned bus until parents can come pick them up. And as you referenced, this started just after 3 o'clock today when a call came in for a carbon monoxide leak coming from this child care center's gym. It was determined that leak was coming from some equipment that a construction crew was using to make some improvements in the gym area. And out of those construction workers, 4 were exposed to that carbon monoxide and sent to Madison for further care at a hospital, one of them being in critical condition. But the good news is of the 53 students and 7 staff members that were inside Heart and Hands Child Care Center at the time that happened, none of them are showing any signs or symptoms of being impacted by that carbon monoxide. And I was told that all 53 students are being asked to wait just so they can be tested and make sure. But at this point, parents are coming and reuniting with their kids to take them home. Our Maddie O'Neill spoke with a couple of those parents who dealt with a very stressful phone call, I'm sure, today, and she joins us live now.
Absolutely, Adam. Yeah, we're across the street in the parking lot where parents are parking to come pick up their kids. Like Adam said, it appears that children are okay. So as you can imagine, we're seeing a lot of parents who tell us they're relieved today. Some heard about this from a text or email alert, but we also spoke to one woman who stumbled upon this happening.
I was actually on my way home and saw that there's a cop car standing there, and I was just going to keep going by, but then I saw all the fire trucks, so I pulled around and they said carbon monoxide, and so I quick snatched her up and they checked her and they're checking the kids now. The worst case scenario, I mean, I had no idea what to expect. It's so scary.
Well, the sun's not in a great place.
The several parents and nannies we spoke with tell us they're impressed with how the situation is being handled. I asked a few families what's next on the agenda today. It seems the answer is get out of the sun, get a snack, and relax after this sort of hectic situation.
All right, Maddie O'Neill live tonight, and as the story develops, we want to keep you updated. We'll have the latest information on our Channel 3000 app and at our website, channel3000.com. We'll also have another update later on in this newscast.
Wisconsin health officials are urging people to stay home during the 4th of July holiday to help stem a recent surge in coronavirus infections. The state health department says nearly 20% of total reported cases in the state have come in the last 2 weeks. They say the spike has been largely driven by young people congregating in bars. State Health Secretary Andrea Palm says 23% of confirmed cases in Wisconsin are people in their 20s. And if you do choose to go outside, Governor Evers is encouraging every Wisconsinite to wear a mask.
Masks should cover your mouth and your nose and should not be taken off at any time in public spaces. Wearing a mask isn't a political statement, and it shouldn't be controversial. My mask is to protect you, and your mask is to protect me. So folks, let's all remember to take care of one another as we continue to weather this storm together and celebrate safely this weekend. Thanks.
As a result of that spike, new restrictions for bars and restaurants officially went into place today. Public Health issued an order for restaurants to scale back indoor dining to 25% capacity, and bars can't have any indoor dining.
As these cases spike, we asked Public Health Madison Dane County if they require businesses to inform the public about positive COVID-19 cases at their establishments. Our Gabriella Becerra found the answer is no. She joins us live to tell us why some are choosing to do it anyway. Gabriella?
Well, after 2 employees tested positive at 2 different Great Dane locations, their team had a discussion about transparency and how to tell the public how they're handling those cases. For the team at Great Dane, they chose to post a detailed explanation of when employees who tested positive were at work, as well as their process in closing those dining rooms until other employees can get tested. Executive Chef Matt Pace says protecting privacy of employee health information was a focus of that discussion. discussion.
That was definitely a very important topic for us, and what our communication is and how we do it is to make sure that we're following those guidelines, following those laws, respecting the privacy of any specific individuals.
Pace says the Great Dane will continue to stay transparent for the benefit of their community. Coming up on News 3 now at 6, we'll share why it was an important decision for them to be open with their community.
All right, Gabby, thank you. As those new restrictions go into place, some bars and restaurants are feeling another economic setback.
But for some, this isn't a change at all. Our Jamie Perez explains why.
Well, there are several places here in Dane County that never reopened at all, even when they were still allowed to. Now, I talked to several of them today who said how this has impacted them and if they feel that they can make it through this new round of restrictions.
No one wins right now. Everyone loses, it's just to varying degrees.
With new restrictions in place for restaurants and bars, everyone is scaling back yet again.
Are you guys gonna make it through this next round?
I mean, that is a constant source of concern.
Evan Donnells is the owner of Cadre, which was only open for 4 months before the shutdown. He, like many others, looked over the plans to reopen when it was allowed at 25%, but felt it wasn't feasible until he could do at least 50. So he opened for the first time in months just last week.
Felt pretty safe until suddenly it didn't.
And now he has to reconsider everything he planned for. And there are some restaurants who still haven't opened their dining rooms.
60% of our normal sales down to about 30% of our normal sales. And then this last week, down to about 10% of our normal sales.
Dave Heidi, who owns Liliana's, says he's seen almost all of his profit dwindle over the past several weeks, but said he would rather see his profits at a low percent and be 100% confident in the health and safety of his customers and staff.
A 100% safe environment by doing takeout right now. Like, I am 100% confident in that my staff are safe, my customers are safe, and that makes me feel good.
Heidi said he's considered opening his doors because now he's competing with restaurants that do have the option, which opens up profitability.
I don't fault one restaurant that decided to open. Like, I get it. Like, it's scary as hell.
But he said he's still more comfortable sticking to takeout only.
It's the right thing to do. We were worried about the interaction that would have between our staff and our customers, and that's exactly what's been happening.
Restaurant and bar owners have all seen a steep dip in sales since this started. And while every business has its own reasons on whether or not to open and how they want to open, with no end in sight.
The longer this goes out, the survivability rate of restaurants is just gonna drop, like, at an astronomical rate.
Both restaurant owners say that they would like to see more action taken to help local businesses from local government help, including financial assistance and a requirement to wear masks in public.
Very tough time for those folks. Jamie, thank you. In Wisconsin, reporting almost 30,000 positive coronavirus cases. According to numbers from state and county health departments, at least 29,814 people have tested positive. At least 794 have died. That's 5 more since yesterday. Of the thousands who have tested positive, nearly 80% have fully recovered. Meanwhile, the number of confirmed cases in the U.S. climbed to a new high of more than 50,000 per day today. All but 10 U.S. states are showing an increase of confirmed cases over the last 2 weeks, according to data compiled by the COVID Tracking Project. Nebraska and South Dakota, the only states outside the Northeast with a decrease in cases, but those states are also recording higher positive test rates. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says the U.S. unemployment rate fell to 11.1% in June. The economy added a record 4.8 million jobs, second consecutive month of growth after more than 20 million jobs were wiped out in April alone during the coronavirus lockdown. But the U.S. economy is still in a deep recession, and millions of people are still relying on government aid to make ends meet. The Department of Labor reported Thursday that 1.4 million workers filed for first-time unemployment benefits just last week.
It's another hot and humid day out there, and it's going to stay that way for a little while longer. Let's check in now with Dana Fulton. Dana?
It really seems like this pattern is around for at least the next 2 weeks. Summer is going to continue on into the 4th of July. Here's a live look with our Edgewater Sky Cam of downtown. Partly sunny skies for this evening. Temperature-wise, we are in the mid-80s with dew points in the low 60s and a very light breeze in the single digits for our wind speeds right now. So it feels a little humid. Tomorrow we'll see highs in the upper 80s. Again, very warm and humid with a slight chance for an afternoon shower or thunderstorm really from about 2 to 5 p.m. Temperatures this weekend will be in the low 90s. For the rest of or heading into next week, we'll see highs in the upper 80s. Heat index readings will be in the 90s again, so no break in this heat expected anytime soon. afternoon, but we will have a few chances for some rain to pass through. We'll take a closer look at your full 10-day in just a few minutes. Eric?
All right, Dana, thank you. A woman is in custody after turning herself in after yesterday's homicide on Madison's North Side. Madison 22-year-old Heaven Grant approached officers and told them she was responsible for killing a 25-year-old man. Grant told officers she recently had broken up with the victim. She said the victim saw her driving, started following her, and she says she drove into a parking lot. They got into a verbal argument. She says she shot him as he was getting into her car. Grant was arrested on suspicion of first-degree reckless homicide.
The Wisconsin Department of Justice is investigating an officer-involved shooting involving the Sheboygan Police Department that left one person dead. It happened around 6 this morning. According to WTMJ TV in Milwaukee, family members identified the man who was shot and killed as 32-year-old Kevon Ruffin. Sheboygan police say the man, who was later identified by family members as Ruffin, was armed and was shot after they made contact. Ruffin's family members say he suffered from mental health issues.
The FBI says a British socialite who was accused by many women of helping procure underage sex partners for Jeffrey Epstein has been arrested in New Hampshire. The FBI says Ghislaine Maxwell was taken into custody this morning on charges related to the Epstein scandal. Epstein allegedly killed himself in a federal detention center in New York last summer while awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges. Maxwell accused by many women of recruiting them to give Epstein massages during which they were pressured into sex.
In addition to allegedly enabling and participating in the sexual abuse of young victims, Maxwell compounded her crimes by repeatedly lying in 2016 when she was questioned under oath. And we have charged those lies in 2 perjury counts.
Maxwell has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing.
There's more to come on News 3 Now at 5. When we come back, we're continuing to update you on the developing story outside of Mount Horeb, where emergency personnel are responding to a carbon monoxide incident at a child care center. That's a little later in the show. On Wall Street today, the Dow jumped more than 92 points in Thursday trading. The Nasdaq was up an even 53, and the S&P 500 gained 14. We'll be right back.
It's time to celebrate at Furniture and Appliance Mart's Stars and Stripes event. Save up to 50% off all appliances, plus 18 months financing with no minimum purchase, and free doorstep drop-off from Wisconsin's own Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley Home Store off the Beltline.
The Leadership Development Program is designed for people who at some point intend to become supervisors. It would open the doors for you for a lot of different types of positions where you're going to have people reporting to you. The number one reason I would say students should come to Blackhawk Tech is that they're going to get a great education from great instructors who understand, make the learning more applicable to them, a real quality education at a very reasonable cost.
America, we want to help get you back to it. And here's how, with the Ford Promise. Visit your Ford dealer. Finance a new, certified pre-owned or used vehicle through Ford Credit, and if you lose your job, you can return it for up to 1 year from the day you bought it. You can also get 0% APR financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Let us help get you back to it with the Ford Promise.
Relax, unwind, remain safe and secure in a new bath, shower, or walk-in tub from Mad City Baths, Wisconsin's #1 ranked remodeler. Now during our summer spectacular sale, get a new bath or shower for only $49.95. Ask about great financing and call during this program for a free $100 Walmart or Amazon gift card with your in-home estimate. And be sure to ask about virtual online estimates.
If you have a fear of overpaying, you have FOOP. But don't worry, US Cellular has your back with the Samsung Galaxy S25G, free when you switch, plus no activation fees. Stream without disruption, capture and post without restriction, and do it all without FOOP. Switch and get a free Samsung Galaxy S25G at US Cellular. Choose fair.
Salute massive savings at Ashley Home Store's Stars and Stripes event. Save up to 60% off. Plus, take a bonus 10% off our sale prices at checkout. And interest-free financing for 3 years on top of our very best deals. Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Tonight at 6, we're asking local restaurants about their procedures to notify the public when an employee tests positive for coronavirus. And Wisconsin Emergency Management is urging people to be smart in the heat this weekend.
Health officials are reminding people to take extra precautions this weekend if they are using or simply around fireworks. Since many large firework displays have been canceled due to COVID-19, health officials say it's likely more people will be using fireworks during their small gatherings themselves. Health officials at UW Health strongly urge people to avoid handling fireworks if they've been drinking at all. If you do handle fireworks, you should wear goggles and gloves, they say, and make sure children are a safe distance away. They say just because fireworks are small doesn't mean they can't cause major injuries.
Sparklers seem innocuous, they don't seem very dangerous, but they get so hot that they can burn right through your skin in less than a second, causing pretty severe burns. So be very careful with those sparklers. Even when they're burned out, they're still very hot for a period of time.
Officials say also keep large water sources close to any fireworks you use.
Well, a lot of people are planning to be out and about this holiday weekend.
But with the COVID-19 restrictions, what's the safest and best way to stay cool? Melissa Kim joins us now with what local officials are recommending. Melissa?
Yeah, Eric and Susan, you know, it's hot out right now. It's definitely going to be hot this weekend, as you heard Dana say earlier. And officials from the Department of Emergency Management say to make sure you pay attention to how you're feeling and to limit any outdoor physical activity. Some other tips that they're giving out: wear light clothing, and if you're in a place that can't be air conditioned, try to go to an indoor shopping mall. But make sure that you always wear a mask and social distance, and most importantly, this is a big one, stay hydrated.
Water is your friend. Drinks with caffeine and alcohol, while we are heading into the holiday weekend, alcohol and caffeine don't necessarily hydrate. Water does. Maintain hydration and you'll be much safer.
Now, there will be cooling centers open throughout the state, but officials say to make sure you check and see when they're actually open, again, due to COVID-19. Now, McClellan also says to check on your elderly neighbors, to check on any neighbors at all, but while you're doing so, make sure to do it safely while wearing a mask and social distancing.
All good advice. Melissa, thank you.
All right, time to get a look at your first warned weather. Meteorologist Dana Fulton has your forecast. Dana?
We're looking at a very warm and humid 4th of July, actually very similar to what we've seen for the last 2 years. As we look back over our last 5 years for the 4th of July, the coolest being 2016, when high temperatures barely hit the mid-70s. But for 2018 and 2019, we saw highs in the low 90s. That's what we're expecting for this Saturday, though the rain that we did see for the last 2 years, that is certainly not in the forecast for your 4th of July Saturday. Right now, our radar is quiet. No rain chances is expected for this evening, though a quick shower would really zap some of that humidity that we're seeing right now. There is going to be a slight chance for an afternoon shower on Friday. The weekend right now does look dry with mostly sunny skies for Saturday and partly sunny skies on Sunday. And the warming trend just continuing on. We'll stay above average through next week and into the following weekend. Overnight, we'll have partly cloudy skies, another mild night. Temps will drop to the mid-60s for overnight lows. As we look ahead to Friday afternoon, right around 2-3 o'clock, there's that slight chance to see a shower pass through. Behind that, of course, temperatures cool down a little bit for the evening. Overnight will be fairly quiet, partly cloudy skies, and for Saturday, we have mostly sunny skies for your 4th of July. If you are spending time outside, again, make sure you're wearing plenty of sunscreen and drinking plenty of water. Our temperature trend for our 6 to 10 day outlook and our 8 to 14 day outlook, very, very likely that we will continue to stay above average. That pushes us into the middle of July. So for the next at least 2 weeks, we're expecting warm temperatures and quite a bit of humidity to just settle in for most of the Midwest. Since a lot of people plan on being outside this weekend, we still have alert days in the forecast for Saturday and for Sunday. Temperatures will be in the low 90s. Heat index readings will be in the mid to upper 90s. Could get close to that triple-digit mark, especially for Janesville and Monroe. Again, hydrate with water. Temperatures tomorrow afternoon will be in the upper 80s, and then temperatures heading into the weekend again in the low 90s with those alert days for Saturday and Sunday. We stay warm heading into next week. Right now, I think we're going to send it back over to Susan and Eric.
Just the gym area, but the classrooms as well. So we did take precautions, and we did go through and check all of the children here and the teachers as well.
Do you know what may have caused the carbon monoxide leak?
They were using some grinding equipment that was run by propane.
when you got here on the scanner, it said something like a mass casualty event. When you're responding to something like a carbon monoxide leak, what are the dangers and what are the precautions you're running through as you respond to a situation like this?
Yeah, so a mass casualty event for us is anything that has over 5 patients. So with all of the given people that were in the building, it's a mass casualty incident for us. Our priorities are to check those that are most seriously affected, which were the workers. But we also need to have fire crews be aware that there's elevated levels, so we need to take precautions, wear air packs as we go in to check for, make sure everyone is out of the building, and then we have to ventilate the building to remove all the carbon monoxide before the teachers can go back in now.
If you said the construction workers were in a gymnasium area, so they were separate from where the students were at that point? Or?
It was a separate area, but the area was not completely blocked off.
You said 53 students inside?
I believe I was told 53 students along with teachers, and then there were 5 workmen who were affected.
At this point, you know just how many people were taken to the hospital with what kind of conditions?
I believe there were 4 transported workers. 1 was fairly serious, 3 were minor. As far as the rest of the children and teachers on scene, there were 3 children with elevated levels of carbon monoxide that were just treated on scene and released to their parents.
When it comes to young children and carbon monoxide, obviously it's a concern with anyone, but is there a special concern for someone that young?
Yes, definitely. Children can become affected by carbon monoxide a little bit more seriously, and they also compensate, so they tend to not show signs right away until it's very serious.
So what are there certain precautions or steps that parents have to take when they take care of their kids at home?
So any parents who are concerned about it still would just look for signs of their children being a little bit lethargic, headaches, blurred vision, upset stomach.
Was it the workers that called this in?
I don't know that.
Because I know with carbon monoxide, it's odorless and colorless, right? So
correct.
How did they become aware that it was happening?
So the workers became aware when one of them became drowsy and confused. And as soon as one had symptoms, he left the area, and then the other ones did call it in.
Is the daycare equipped with carbon monoxide detectors?
Sorry, what's that?
Is the daycare equipped with carbon monoxide detectors?
I don't know that. I know that the workers had detectors, but they were not functioning.
Do you think at this point it was the generators that were the reason for the carbon monoxide, or are you able to tell?
We believe it to be the generators were running outside, the ones you see here. We believe that the source was a self-contained grinding machine that worked off of a propane tank that was on it.
And is it Polytech Midwest? Is this the company of the construction workers?
I believe so. I did not talk to any of the construction workers.
Lastly, I know you don't want to speculate on something like this, but you hear carbon monoxide leak where there's young children. You know, how dangerous could this have been, and how lucky are we at this point to be where we're at in terms of all those children being okay?
Sure. Well, we're very lucky that one of the workers did have symptoms early, so that they did evacuate the children immediately and get them outside before a great number were affected. If the equipment had been running with no workers in there, or the workers didn't have symptoms, more children could have been affected today.
Actually, one last thing from me. What can you say, can you evaluate the process of the administrators, the school staff gathering the children out? Like how fast and timely was it, and was that effective?
Well, they were all outside by the time that we arrived, and they had been reported to be outside for several minutes. So I was told that as soon as the first worker began having symptoms, they evacuated the children.
How long might it take before this building is safe again?
It's safe right now, so part of the fire crew's job was to ventilate the building to make it safe for the occupants. So after we got everybody outside and made sure everyone was taken care of medically, we went in with fans and we ventilated the structure. Teachers are going back in right now to get their personal belongings.
Bus here, though, to hold the students and some air conditioning on?
Yes. The playground area had very few trees, and we wanted to make sure that the children were kept cool and comfortable as much as possible, and it was easier to evaluate them in that environment.
Is there anything else you'd like to add or you'd want to include that we haven't talked about yet?
I don't think so.
Thanks for doing
Thank
you so much. You bet.
All right, that is Mount Horeb Fire Chief Jenny Minter briefing us on what happened in Mount Horeb at a daycare center. We understand 4 workers are hospitalized after a carbon monoxide incident there at a daycare center, one of them critical. We do understand that 3 young people, 3 children were treated at the scene and released for elevated levels of carbon monoxide, but again, treated and released in a situation that could have been much worse. We will have another update tonight on News 3 Now at 6. Stay with us. We'll be right back in just a moment.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
It's time to breathe easier with a professional air duct deep cleaning from Stanley Steamer. We remove the dirt hidden deep inside your ducts, helping you get back to a cleaner and healthier home. Call 1-800-STEAMER today.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
Hey, Dutch boy, show me Mocha Red.
Okay.
Does it have a smooth, durable finish?
Yes, and it's 50% more stain resistant.
You still talking to Dutch boy?
Dutch boy, show me Sleepy Purple.
Okay.
Oh, would you look at that?
That's better.
He'll still help us paint, right?
With Dutch Boy's quality paint and Menards expert service, you can twist off to something great.
Right now at Menards, get 11% off everything, including Dutch Boy paint.
Get a $150 MasterCard during Steinhaffel's 4th of July sale when you take advantage of 0% financing for 60 months. Now's the time to save 35% store-wide plus an extra 5% off. On top of that, free no-contact shipping. Get amazing deals priced to sell out like any size Sealy, $99. Twin bed, $299. 5-piece patio set or a 7-piece dining set, $399. Power lift chair or these sofas, $499. Hurry, Steinhaffel's 4th of July sale ends soon.
Happy 4th of July Super Sale, happening this week at the Brothers Maine. Come in now for more savings on more brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and Amana. We make upgrading your home more convenient at Maine with up to 18 months of 0% financing and expert-free delivery. Get more at the 4th of July Super Sale. More selection, more savings, and more satisfaction. And happy birthday, USA, from the Brothers Maine, your local store for more since 1938.
Here's to the road ahead. Trust Toyota to be here for you.
Now every hybrid vehicle in Toyota's lineup is available with 0% financing. With fewer stops for gas, Toyota hybrids give you the confidence to go farther. And with 0% financing, Toyota hybrids are even more thrilling. Enjoy more freedom in a Toyota hybrid. See your Toyota dealer or shop and buy online.
All from the brand you trust, today and tomorrow. Toyota.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me.
I solemnly swear that I will support the veterans of the
United States Armed Forces.
I will defend the Constitution
against all enemies. That I will commit
to ensuring they are
not forgotten.
And I will enable veterans to live the same life of opportunity
they have provided me. So help me God.
At Stanley Steamer, we love homes. It's why we started cleaning them over 70 years ago and why we still continue today. Whatever home means to you, we're ready when you are to make sure your space is clean and that you and the ones you care about most are safe.
Again, multiple people are in the hospital tonight after a carbon monoxide leak at a daycare center outside Mount Horeb.
Let's go back to our Adam Duxter, who's been on the scene all afternoon for the latest update. Adam.
Yeah, Eric and Susan, you heard just there from Mount Horeb Fire Chief Jenny Minter that they're able to determine the cause of that carbon monoxide leak was a piece of equipment that construction crews were using inside the gymnasium. They say one of the workers began to feel drowsy, and that's how the call came in. And they said, of course, had there not been construction workers in that gym, this could have been a very different situation. But all 53 of those students are safe tonight.
All right, Adam Duxter live near Mount Horeb. We'll continue to have updates throughout the evening. We'll be right back with a final check of your forecast.
Ashley Home Store's Mattress Marathon ends soon. Don't miss our biggest mattress sale of the year. Pay as little as $22 a month for Tempur-Pedic with 6 years no-interest financing. Doorbuster Queen mattresses are just $95 while they last. Through Monday at Ashley Home Store.
Today, some things do stand firm. Those you can lean on. The things that matter. And the importance of you being you. That's why, no matter the type of care you need, or the way you need it, we're here every day, safe and ready. Because wherever you are in your world, you're the focus of ours. Safe care your way. Unity Point Health Merida, a partner of UW Health. Know how much you matter to this world.
America, we want to help get you back to it. And here's how, with the Ford Promise. Visit your Ford dealer. Finance a new, certified pre-owned or used vehicle through Ford Credit, and if you lose your job, you can return it for up to 1 year from the day you bought it. You can also get 0% APR financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Let us help get you back to it with the Ford Promise.
Seeing the joy that people feel when they share a meal with family and friends, that's why we do this. The laughter of kids around the table, the thrill of families driving through for a treat, the delight of not having to cook, and instead letting us safely serve you. It all comes back to taking care of each other. And for that, we'll be here with your favorites, and always a smile.
Salute massive savings at Ashley Home Store's Stars and Stripes event. Save up to 60% off. Plus, take a bonus 10% off our sale prices at checkout. And interest-free financing for 3 years on top of our very best deals. Ashley Home Store. This is home.
We're kind of on autopilot in the weather department. It's another hot and humid afternoon, Dan.
It is, and that's going to continue on through the 4th of July holiday weekend and into next week. Tomorrow will be partly sunny with a slight chance for an afternoon shower or thunderstorm in the upper 80s. Saturday and Sunday will be in the low 90s.
All right, we'll be back at 30 for news. For now at 6. Stay tuned for the CBS Evening News.